This is Justin Case of American Newscape, joining our friend and mentor, Joyce Rockwood, for some insight on how she teaches healing from the inside out. Joyce joins us to share another natural health solution. Today, another glimpse at colon health and happiness. Hello, Joyce. Welcome back to American Newscape.
Hey, Justin, great to be back. I love hearing you say colon health and happiness in the same breath.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me back.
you're welcome, and thanks for coming back. Many people just going for an annual checkup to get a thumbs up from their doctor may not be living optimally via the best way possible. A health-centric lifestyle would mean those annual doctor visits would provide better test results, and logic tells us we'd see fewer cases of early onset disease. What you believe is the most powerful way to detoxify is simply colonic hydrotherapy, thus creating whole body health. Getting right to it, Joyce, what are some of the best tips and suggestions you can give to people who are ready to get their first colonic and want to
Well,
have the best
um,
results?
yeah, exactly. That's important too, right? Not just like having a good treatment, but getting the results thereafter. Thanks so much for asking. And thanks so much for saying that, because I truly do believe that you have the ability, and my clients have the ability, and anyone listening has the ability to heal themselves naturally from the inside out. But what I believe even more than that is that colon health, gravity based colon hydrotherapy specifically, in tandem with properly nourishing the body, is literally one of the most overlooked yet the most powerful ways to create long term vitality. And I take a great level of pride in coaching my clients on how to properly prepare for their colonics, because it truly is in the setup, the level of results that they get. Now, whether you're someone who's already had colonics, thinking about getting colonics, or just thinking about doing some enemas at home, I'm going to share some information with you today that will help you learn how to properly prepare for them and get the best results. And I'll share this, most of the time people have a reluctance to embark on some kind of a healthier regimen because they feel like they're not going to be able to eat the certain foods that they know aren't really serving them in the first place, but they're foods that might be giving them a lot of emotional gratification. If you're listening to this interview and this is already starting to hit home, I've got news for you. I make detox easy. And the truth is, you're going to be able to eat some of those foods. You might just be eating healthier versions of them. And as your body detoxifies, as you go through this preparation process and you learn more about what's really going on inside of your body, you're going to notice that your cravings change, and you probably don't even want some of those foods as much as you do right now, as often or as frequently. So let me just say this. With any change to any diet that you're currently working with, and I say diet, I mean the foods that you're eating, because in my world, the definition of diet is the foods that you consume. It's not something that you just do for a period of time to get certain results and then go back to your old habits. When we talk about diet, we're talking about reprogramming the body and the mind, and we're talking about taking on a new lifestyle. So, with any new lifestyle change, no matter what that would be, you want to think about changing and shifting your gears in a transitional way, just like you're changing the gears on your car or on your bicycle. We don't go from first to fourth, we go from first to second, and then to third, and then to fourth if necessary, right? And the reason I recommend transitional changes is because, first of all, it's the most sensible, it's the most knowledgeable way to really support the body in alleviating accumulation and in a manageable fashion. When you start eating healthier foods, there is going to be a loosening up of poisonous matter on a very deep cellular level. And we want to make sure that whatever is leaving the body is going to leave the body in its completion in an efficient fashion. We don't want to be loosening up a lot of debris and have only some of it leave and a lot of it stays behind, because that's when people start to feel like, oh, well, when I didn't eat so healthy, I felt better. So I'm just going to go back to doing what I was doing before. And they abandon ship. So I'm going to give you 3, maybe a bonus, 4 tips on how to prepare for a colon hydrotherapy treatment or just for doing some enemas at home so that you can support your body in being properly nourished while also loosening up the matter that you want to alleviate. The first thing I'm going to share with you is I always work from a very additive perspective and with an additive philosophy. So I'm not going to tell you what you can't eat or what you shouldn't eat. I'm going to support you with adding in healthier foods. And if you choose to not eat the other things as frequently, then that's going to be probably your experiences, because that's what happens, right? We start eating better, we start craving healthier foods organically. And that's typically what does happen. So let's start with the big salad. Okay. So if the first thing you can do on your protocol is start eating a nice, sizable, big green leafy salad before your entree that's cooked at lunch and dinner, this is always my first course of action with my clients. So now, before you might even be one, you can start to see what some of those benefits are going to look like for yourself. So big salads are important. They're going to start loosening up the debris inside of the body. They're going to start neutralizing a lot of the poisonous matter inside of the body. They're going to create a flow and an ease throughout the intestine for the cooked food that you're likely going to eat right after it. You don't need to wait any amount of time. Just have that big salad first at lunch, and then eat your entree, and then have your big salad at dinner first, and then eat your entree. And I will say this, if you're someone who's on the go, even if you're just chopping up some red peppers and cucumbers and munching on those while you're cooking your dinner, that is fine. Water containing raw vegetables are some of the most powerful have some of the most powerful enzymes, minerals, and nutrients that really start to support whole body health. Okay, so that's your foundational level of support, the big salad. All right. Now, secondly, I'm going to share this. If you're someone who does eat breakfast, the best thing you can start doing at breakfast, if you own a vegetable juicer, is have a fresh pressed vegetable juice. Okay. Again, we are putting minerals and enzymes right into the body in their whole state, allowing a level of detoxification to take place, allowing a cellular nourishment to take place. It's going to shift your cravings. It's going to create more flow for blood throughout the body, more oxygen, more brain power, more energy. And you're going to notice your food cravings shift when you start drinking vegetable juices in the morning, as well as with those big salads, because the greens are going to really put a lot of that oxygen rich flow through the hemoglobin in the blood. Okay, so fresh pressed vegetable juice in the morning. If you don't own a vegetable juicer, it's totally okay. Get yourself some nice purified water, squeeze in some fresh lemons, or if you're working with me and you're already working with essential oils, you just put a drop of your lemon essential oil in there and you're just going to drink that, because the second we hydrate the body in the morning, we're just waking up all the organs and we're allowing all of the systems of elimination to start moving their crud. All right, so we've got the big salad, we've got the juices, we've got hydrating the body. And then I'm going to share a fourth tip. Okay. The fourth tip is a little bit more of a removal concept. It's like removing this food, whatever. I'm going to give you a list of things you can consider. Removing one of these options from your daily consumption is going to actually create a huge shift in your overall vitality and the release and the lessening of gas pressure in your body. Every single thing I do with you and my clients is designed to increase your vitality by reducing pressure and also like removing the obstruction, right? So if we take vitality and we're going to elevate the power in the body, we're also going to remove the obstruction in the body. We're always going to elevate our level of energy. Okay, so pick one. Do you drink carbonated beverages? Do you eat a lot of highly processed foods? Do you eat a lot of dairy, all 3 meals? What are some of the high animal protein foods that you consume on a daily basis if you're someone who eats red meat every single day? I will say pick one of those categories and just start to focus on reducing the amount of that food that you consume on a daily basis. The reason for that is because you can create a cleansing response in your body if you did nothing else but just started eating big salads. Because if you weren't doing that before, when you start doing that, you're raising the alkalinity of your consumption and it is going to shift you into a higher state. You don't have to do dramatic things to get really great results. It can be super simple. And once you master that or feel like that's easy, then you can bring the next step in. It's always easier to do it that way than to go in all in from the first day, because I've worked with clients who do this. They come in, they're eating a completely standard American diet with no information whatsoever on proper food combining, no juicing, none of this. They're like quitting everything cold. Well, 2 weeks they're back to their old habits because they've loosened any old demons in the system that were unmanageable, didn't come in to get a second treatment, and now they feel horrible. And they're equating feeling horrible with eating healthier foods, right? And the reason that happens is because there's a lot of toxicity in the body that is getting emulsified but has not been completely removed from the tissue. And that's when we really do feel the onset of illness. So I support going through the process gradually and transitionally, sensibly, so that you can keep moving up to the next level. So those would be some of my tips for getting you to prepare properly for your first colonic or your enema at home.
Wow. So basically that's the prep, and you've given us some good advice. You know, when we try and modify our diet to a healthier level, there is that initial transition process of, you know, we're going to feel different, and it is those toxins or it is that roughage that we're putting into our system that our system has to adjust to. But once adjusted, that's when we really start to sense the benefit. So
Yeah.
Joyce, do you have any closing thoughts for us today?
Yes, absolutely. You know, the biggest, I think, or the hardest part about any process of change is literally that first step of just getting started. Because a lot of times people just don't know what it looks like. They don't know what they're going to feel like. They're nervous about the changes that are going to come up. They're worried about how they're going to navigate those things. They're worried about their social circles. That's such a huge topic that comes up. Actually, just working with a woman recently, and she's going to navigate all these changes when I'm with my friends socially and I'm bringing my bag of red peppers. I'm like, don't be surprised if they ask you for a piece. You know, a lot of times people actually do want to eat healthier themselves. They're just worried about what that first step looks like or worried about being judged. So maybe you are going to be the person who's the cause of change for them. And so I truly believe and know that you can heal your body naturally from the inside out. And teaching you how to do that through proper nourishment, proper detoxification, and sensible rejuvenation is what I do. But helping you to experience a life of freedom where you get to make the biggest difference and the greatest impact on the lives of others is really who I am. Thanks so much for this opportunity to share more.
This has been Just In Case and Joyce Rockwood sharing colon hydrotherapy, the ins and outs. Thanks for joining us. Remember, free gifts, additional information, and links are provided in the videos. Read more. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel to stay connected, and please connect with Joyce in those links below so you can learn how to detoxify your body properly.